Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, very good evening to all of you. Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur, is organized well record series 2. Today is 201st day of the series, and the keynote speaker for today's session is with us Honorable Vinod Kumar sir. So first of all, I welcome the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M.M. Bedkar sir. I welcome the colleagues from my college and heartily welcome all those dear participants. The topic for this presentation now this speaker Vinod sir, who is professor and College, Coimbatore. Please start your presentation.
So, good evening, respected faculty members.
On today's topic, object.
Thank you for the nice introduction, sir. Good evening, faculty members. Just I will present the screen, dear faculty members. Oh, what happened?
Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, just I will check with the PPT, sir.
No issue, sir. Please continue. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Just a second, sir. PPT is not. Sir, is the PPT visible, sir? Am I audible,
Yes, sir. Yes, you are audible and visible also, sir. Please.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, if possible, please make your camera on.
Sir, there is some problems in the camera, sir. Just now I checked. Sir. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, please continue. Yes.
So good evening, dear faculty members. Today's topic of discussion is object-oriented programming concepts. Sir, please just wait for a few seconds, sir. There are...
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, is the PPT visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, dear faculty members, today's topic of discussion is object-oriented programming concepts. So, dear faculty members, today we will discuss about the origin of programming, the evolution of programming language, the difference between procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented programming. Dear faculty members, please ensure me that my voice is audible and the PPT is visible, dear faculty members. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, is the second slide is visible, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. There are some technical difficulties I am experiencing today, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Maybe there are network issues, sir.
Okay, sir. So now the problem is corrected, sir. Okay, sir. Now I will explain, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Dear faculty members, now we will discuss about the origin of programming. When the computers was first invented, the machine language was used as a primary programming technique. What do you mean by machine language? Machine language is nothing but it consists of only two numbers, zeros and ones. And more importantly, the computers can understand only the machine language. The computers can understand only zeros and ones. So the problem with the machine language is programming in machine language is a tedious task. It is a tedious procedure. It's a very difficult task because the error detection and correction is very, very difficult. To overcome the drawbacks of the machine language, the assembly language was introduced. In assembly language, we can execute our task by using commands. Dear faculty members, look at the bottom of the screen. I am using three commands. The first command is LDA. LDA stands for load accumulator. Second command is JMP. JMP stands for jump instruction. Third instruction is CMP. CMP stands for compare instruction. After assembly language, many high-level programming languages were introduced like Fortran, Basic, Pascal, and COBOL. Neither of the above mentioned programming languages satisfied the developers community because assembly language program is a low-level programming language. Actually, the programmers wants to develop high-level programming languages. The answer is Fortran, Basic, Pascal, and COBOL. Many high-level programming languages were available, but whatever I have mentioned in the screen, those programming languages are not those programming languages doesn't fulfill the expectations of the developers community. So the invention of the C programming language is like a revolution in the year 1972 because C programming language was a first user-friendly programming language. C programming language was a first structured programming language. Next, we can move on to the procedure-oriented programming. The procedure-oriented programming concept was closely associated with C programming language because C programming language comes under the category of procedure-oriented programming. Procedure-oriented programming is a peer concept of object-oriented programming. So both are closely related. The procedure-oriented programming, modular programming, these terminologies refer to the same thing. There is no difference. Procedure-oriented programming, modular programming, all are the same. So the important aspect of modular programming language is divide and conquer strategy. So what do you mean by divide and conquer strategy? Normally, a project can be divided into modules. For example, a project consists of 1,000 modules. How can we approach a project? First, we will divide the project into small modules. We will achieve the individual module. Later on, we will integrate everything. This is the approach we will follow in executing a project. Pointers is one of the powerful and important concept in C programming language. By using pointers, we can directly communicate with the memory. So pointers is the most powerful concept in C programming language. Without pointers, we cannot do any significant programming in C programming language. C was developed in the year 1972 by Dennis Ritchie in Bell Laboratories, New Jersey, California. So even though C was a powerful programming language, once the saturation point is reached, for every programming language, there is a saturation point. For example, for the C programming language, there is a saturation point. We cannot express the saturation point in terms of numbers. For example, 1 lakh lines or 2 lakh lines or 10 lakh lines. It is not. We cannot represent the saturation point in terms of numbers, but the saturation point is dependent on two important factors. The first important factor is the nature of the problem, and the second important factor is the programmer's ability. These two important factors will decide the saturation point. Once the C programming language was reached its saturation point, it is very difficult to comprehend the logic. Why it is like that means, for example, my project contains 1,000 modules. Suppose I want to add a new module, one more extra module, or in the existing module, if I want to make any modifications, the project cannot accommodate those modifications. Once the saturation point is reached, the project cannot accommodate new features, cannot accommodate new modifications. This is the problem in C programming language. To overcome this problem, the programming language C++ was introduced. Dear faculty members, a computer program consists of two important entities, code and data. Code and data are the two important entities of the computer, not only computer program, in any programming language. If you do programming in any programming language, these two entities are very, very important, code and data. So in procedure-oriented programming languages, C programming language comes under the category of procedure-oriented programming language. In procedure-oriented programming language, there is no protection for data. There is no security for data. Dear faculty members, data is confidential. Data is a classified information. For example, all of us having a bank accounts, the bank will maintain all the customer details, like the customer name, the customer's address, the customer's PAN number, and the customer's Aadhaar number. The information of PAN number and Aadhaar number are very confidential. If the breach of security happened, it will lead to disastrous consequences. It will lead to catastrophic situation. So data is very, very essential. Data is very, very confidential. There must be a proper protection mechanism for data. So in the procedure-oriented programming, there is no protection for data. More importance given to program rather than data. So without data, program doesn't have any meaning. So one more problem in procedure-oriented programming language means the value of data can be arbitrarily changed from any part of the program. We can change the value of data arbitrarily. There is no proper mechanism to handle the data. Data confidentiality, data security is compromised in procedure-oriented programming language. Due to the above mentioned reason, these are all the drawbacks of procedure-oriented programming. To overcome the drawbacks, the object-oriented programming concepts were introduced. There are many OOPS programming languages were available. Simula is the first object-oriented programming language, and Smalltalk is the pure object-oriented programming language. But in our discussion, we are using the C++ programming language. C++ was introduced in the year 1979. The original name was C with classes. Later on, the name changed to C++ because it is the incremental version of C programming language. The ++ operator represents the increment operation. So C++ is actually an incremental version of C++. The C++ language was developed by a computer scientist called Jarnay Stroustrup in the Bell Laboratories, New Jersey, California, United States. C++ is an enhancement of C programming language. C++ is called as the superset of C programming language because the C++ can understand the C programming language's syntax. C++ is backward compatible with C programming language, means actually the C++ can understand the syntax of the C programming language. Next, the wrong conclusion. When the programming fraternity came to a conclusion that C++ is a final destination, it is a wrong conclusion because C++ doesn't have one important feature of portability. Portability is a old age problem. During the 1970s or 60s, the problem was available. The problem was persisted before 60 years. At least that is in the 1960s. What do you mean by a portability? For example, I am creating a program by using a programming language. I am running the program in Windows platform. The same computer program I can run in Linux platform. The same computer program I can run in Macintosh platform. To run in different platforms, I have to create separate compilers in C or C++. For example, I am running my program in Windows platform. For Windows platform, I must use a separate compiler. When I run my program in Linux platform, I have to use a separate compiler. When I run my program in Macintosh platform, I have to use a separate compiler. For the three platforms, I have to use three different compilers. Here the problem is the compiler creation is not an easy task. It is a complicated task. It is a time-consuming procedure. Creation of compiler is a time-consuming procedure. It is an expensive procedure also. So this is the main problem with C or C++. Portability is a main problem. C or C++ are platform dependent. Platform independence is an important characteristic that is absent in C or C++. To overcome this drawback, the programming fraternity will have to find out the solution. The solution is Java programming language. Next, we will going to discuss about one important revolution. The revolution is actually the invention of C programming language is itself a revolution in the computing world. The next important revolution is the advent of internet. Internet was accessed all over the world by using different platforms and architectures. Here, I'm using the terminologies of platforms and architecture. What is the meaning of platform and what is the meaning of architecture? So platform means it is software oriented. Windows is a platform, Linux is a platform, Mac OS is a platform, Android is a platform. Whereas in the case of architecture, architectures are hardware oriented. So all over the world, throughout the globe, so the users can use different types of platforms and different types of architecture. But the content of the internet was same. Based upon the different platform and different architecture, the content was tailored, the content was customized and presented to the user. So in this point, portability played an important role. Because in C or C++, there is no feature of portability. Java is the answer for this problem. Java is the solution for this problem. So Java is one of the most popular programming languages in the world. Its popularity, the Java's popularity mainly due to the two main reasons. The first reason is security, and the second reason is OS independent. Because of these two reasons, security and OS independent, Java is one of the most popular programming languages in the world. The emergence of Java programming language. Java was developed by Sun Microsystems in the year 1991. The original name was Vogue, later renamed to Java. James Gosling is known as the father of Java programming language. Java is also called as the Internet programming language. Actually and interestingly, the Java's original purpose was not Internet. Internet is a very huge domain, but Java's original intention is to develop platform-independent language for consumer electronics. Consumer electronics is also a big domain, but compared to Internet, it is a smaller domain. When you compare the domains of Internet and consumer electronics, the Internet is a very large domain. Consumer electronics is also a large domain, but comparatively, it is smaller than the Internet. So the examples of consumer electronics is normally whenever we are using the washing machine, we are using the control panel. Likewise, whenever we are operating the TV or home theater, we are using remote controls. These are all the examples for the consumer electronics. Now the development of Java handled by Oracle Corporation, because in the year 2010, the Sun Microsystems was acquired by Oracle Corporation. From the 2010 onwards, the development of Java is taken care of by this Oracle Corporation, the second largest software company in the world. The development of Internet and Java happened at the same time. The development of Internet and Java happened at the same time. Java provides the answers for the Internet. The concept of platform independence applied in larger context of Internet. Now Java is one of the most popular programming languages in the world. The features of platform independence and security are the two important reasons for Java's popularity. Now we can move on with the OOPS concept, object-oriented programming concepts. There are four important concepts in object-oriented programming: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. What do you mean by abstraction? Abstraction means data hiding. We are hiding the unnecessary information from the user and providing only the sufficient information and abstraction means we are hiding the unnecessary information from the user. We are hiding the in-depth technical details from the user and giving only the sufficient information to the user. This concept is called as abstraction. For example, for driving a car, I must have some basic knowledge about the car, how to handle the steering control, how to handle the steering, how to apply brakes, how to change the gears, and how to apply the clutch mechanism. These are all the basic information that I must know for driving the car. So by using this information, I can safely drive the car. I need not go in depth. I need not understand the in-depth technical details of the car, like how the fuel is supplied into the engine. So these type of information, I need not worry about this type of information. Just how to apply the brakes, how to change the gear, how to use the clutch mechanism, how to control the steering. By having this basic information, I can safely drive the car. I cannot go in depth. I need not go in depth. I need not understand the in-depth details in-depth technical details of a particular object. So this is the basic concept of abstraction. So by using the concept of abstraction, we are hiding the unnecessary information from the user and we are providing only the necessary information to the user. So whenever, for example, whenever I am operating the washing machine, just we can put the clothes inside, put the detergent powder, open the water connection. It is just push the power button. It is these information are necessary to operate the washing machine. So we need not understand. We need not go in depth like how the motor is working, how the drum is working, what is the rotation mechanism. So these are all in-depth technical information. This information is we don't care about this type of information. So this is the basic concept of abstraction. Next, we can move with the concept of encapsulation. So what is the meaning of encapsulation? Binding together code and data. Class is a basic unit of encapsulation. By using the class, we are binding together code and data. The class consists of two important entities, code and data. The class will bind together code and data. Class is acting like a protective wrapper. Class is a protective mechanism for code and data. Data access can be performed only through well-defined interface. I can interact with the data only through the well-defined interface. I cannot change the data arbitrarily. I cannot make modifications to the data arbitrarily. Only through the well-defined interface only I can interact with the data in a secured manner, in a protective manner. The real life analogy is, for example, I want to shift gears in the car. I want to change gears in the car. I have to interact with the gear shift lever. I cannot switch on the audio system to change the gear. So we have to choose the correct interface. The interface is a very, very important aspect. We have to choose the correct interface to interact with a particular system. We have to choose the correct interface. If we choose the wrong interface, then the result will be different. We cannot expect the desired result. This is the basic concept of encapsulation. Next, we will move on to the third important concept of inheritance. By using the concept of inheritance, these concepts are based on our real life analogy. Okay, one class, by using the concept of inheritance, one class getting the properties of another class. One class getting the properties of another class. In inheritance, we are using two important terminologies, subclass and superclass. Subclass refers to the child class. Superclass refers to the parent class. We are using the concept of child class and parent class. The child class will inherit all the properties of the parent class. Likewise, by inheritance, we are getting the properties from our parents. In addition, the subclass can have its own properties. So what is the important benefit of inheritance? Code reusability is an important benefit of inheritance. It saves a lot of time. So without inheritance means we have to use the same coding in many places. It will increase the length of the program. If the length of the program increased, then automatically it will take more time to execute. So inheritance is a cornerstone principles of object-oriented programming, very important aspect of object-oriented programming. Next, we can move on with polymorphism. Polymorphism is actually a Greek word meaning many forms. Polymorphism is a Greek word meaning many forms. By using the concept of polymorphism, we can implement one interface, multiple methods. What is the meaning of one interface, multiple methods? For example, I want to add two integer numbers. What do you mean by integer numbers? Integer numbers are whole numbers. There is no fractional part. Next, I want to add two floating point numbers. What is the meaning of floating point numbers? The floating point numbers also consist of fractional part. And I want to add two strings. What do you mean? What is the meaning of strings? For example, Ram is a string, Kumar is a string. When I add these two strings, what is the final result? Ram Kumar is the final result. Ram is the first name, Kumar is the second name. When I add these two strings, what is the final answer? Ram Kumar is the final answer. So in all the three operations, adding two integers, adding two floating point numbers, adding two strings, the underlying working principle is addition. We are performing the addition operation in all the three problems: addition of integers, addition of floating point numbers, and addition of strings. So in C programming language, even though the underlying working principle is same, that is the operation is addition, we have to use three different names we have to use three different names for the functions in C programming language. Whereas in the case of C++ or Java, because Java and C++ are object-oriented programming language, we can use the same name for the three different for these three different functions. So it will reduce the burden of the programmer. The main objective of the object-oriented concepts is to reduce the burden of the programmer. Dear friends, the forum is open for interaction. If you have any clarifications, please you can raise your queries, my dear faculty members.
So thank you very much, sir, for wonderful presentation. Now I request all the participants, if you have any query regarding the topic, please come ahead and ask to Honorable Sir. Please welcome. Dear participants, Honorable Vinod Sir have explained the topic clearly in a simple language which we could understood in details. So no problem of questions. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal Ambedkar Sir. Sir, please welcome and have concluding words for today's session. Please, sir.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Sir, I sincerely express my gratitude to Bakkar sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with the teaching fraternity. Thank you, Bakkar sir. I will always support your initiative, sir. This academic initiative, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just wait, sir. Swanand Shukla is asking something. Please. Welcome, sir.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Betkar, sir, Principal, sir, Prashant, sir, and thank you very much, sir, for the new topic. I am from the medical field. So some of the points I could collect and some of the gems I could collect from your speech. Definitely something new for me. Okay, but wonderful. And I know some points like Python people are using in our softwares because we are using some kind of softwares, and that I think the behind the story is all this what you said, the programming, and that is what I can understand, because our software doesn't work if suppose this kind of a backup is not there. So thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful presentation today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir. Now, yes, sir. Sir, please welcome. Have some words for today's session. Honorable Principal, sir. Please welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Prasant, sir. Thank you, faculty members. It's a wonderful experience for me.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
thank you very much, sir. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur in Maharashtra State. So organized World Record Series 2. Today was 201st day of the series. And the topic for today's presentation was object-oriented programming concepts. This topic have presented by Honorable Vinod Kumar sir. Sir have explained the different features regarding this object-oriented programs, origin of programming, procedure of oriented programming, then the different languages, C++, Java, and all other concepts regarding the computer knowledge. Concept of abstractions, concept of encapsulations, concepts of inheritance, and concept of polymorphisms. All these things are new for us, but you clearly explained all those things, sir. Really, we are appreciate for your today's session. It was very informative for us. So thank you very much on behalf of organizing committee members for being with us and paid your valuable time to lecture over here. Thank you very much, sir. I thank the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Betkar, sir. Also thanks the colleagues from my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale, sir, Dr. Anita Dole, madam, vocational supervisor Praveen Utge, sir, and all others. Special thanks to Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, who always share some views or always participate in the discussion session. So thanks to you, sir, and heartily thanks all those dear participants. It is we are running this program only with the help of the your all participants. So I should not forget your thanks. So thanks to you all, and I request to you all, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So with the kind permission of the chief organizer, I declare that today's session is over. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Vinod sir, once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Principal, sir. Good night, dear faculty members.
Okay, sir. Take rest.
Thank you, sir.